Hey, how's it going? How's it going? How's it going? Some more politics with Laura here. Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. Charlie Kirk, Charlie Kirk, Charlie Kirk. Now, how will his legacy be remembered? That's a mixed bag right there. That's a mixed bag because damn, let me move my garbage can. Sorry about that. Okay. He is it work? Oh, come on. Okay. All right. My microphone is working. Let me double check. Is my microphone working the way I want it to work? Live streaming directly. What? I'm live streaming directly from YouTube, and normally I use StreamYard or something, and then I can check everything, do sound checks and everything. But I'm looking at my microphone, and I don't know if it's working appropriately. So I'm just like, oh no. So please stick with me, stick with me, stick with me. Tell us about how you okay. All right. Okay. Hold on. Please don't leave me. Okay, here I go. Okay, here I go. Hi. Hi. Okay, it sounds fine. It sounds fine. All right. So, Charlie Kirk and how he's going to be remembered, his legacy. Now, you see it going on right now. I mean, it's to the one extreme to the other extreme. And I'm just sitting back watching it. Now, I made a video here or there, but it wasn't necessarily about Charlie Kirk. It wasn't about him per se. Now, his politics, I don't know. Okay. I really don't know where his politics really lied because he was in so many different bags. You don't know what was his true politics. You really don't know. You know what he's going out and he's talking about, and you know this, you know that, but you don't know if he were paid to say those things. So I'm not going to say I know definitively that he was this or that. I'm pushing that aside. I'm just focusing on how people are reacting. Oh man, this is a tough bag. This is a tough bag. Now, on one side, you have conservatives on different levels of conservatives, and may I even say liberal Republicans. And believe me, there's a such thing called liberal Republicans. There are. They're just maybe considered moderate, middle of the road, but there are liberal Republicans. If somebody says, no, there aren't, they don't know what they're talking about. Tell them to do their research. All right. Just like that, you have moderate Democrats, you have liberal Democrats. It also fits on the other side, right? Now, conservatives are saying they're putting him up to Dr. Martin Luther King. They're comparing him to Dr. Martin Luther King. And now you got black people are going, no, he's not. No, don't put him next to no Dr. Martin Luther King. He was a divider. He was a racist. He was this. He was that. He was this and he was that. Now, whether if those things are true or not, it's coming from their perspective. Keep that in mind. It's their perspective. Everybody has their own perspective. So if they feel that Charlie Kirk is on the level of Dr. Martin Luther King, then look at his body of work and compare it to Dr. Martin Luther King. If that is where he belongs, then he should be able to fit the test of Dr. Martin Luther King's legacy. You have other people who are saying, no, he's not. He's this. He's a racist. He's a homophobe. He upsets little people. No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying that. No, but again, it goes according to how people view him. And I have to say, Charlie Kirk is polarizing. Now, I will say this. Charlie Kirk did something that Black content creators tried to do, and we're called coons, we're called this, we're called that, right? Now, even though that his stats were most definitely flawed, I'm not saying they weren't flawed, because they were. But what he did was he went on college campuses. He went on, I think more so liberal college campuses, and he would have conversations with those students. And I thought it was interesting because at first I was like, why is he doing what he's doing? Why is he race baiting? And that's exactly what I thought it was, right? And then I really started to listen to him, because he could make you want to just, God rest his soul. I don't mean any disrespect, but the things he would say, and then he would have these statistics, and he would have these college students fumbling all over themselves, and people who are watching, they're like, Charlie, you know better than that. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? And as I watched it, I noticed something. I noticed that you had like some, the left, it's very hard to keep them contained because they are so explosive and, shall I say, emotional and very irrational. So them wanting to throw water on him and all this other stuff, it didn't help matters. It only reinforced what he was saying. But for the Black community, what I thought was interesting was how you had young white liberals, whether if they were, and then I wouldn't even say liberals, I would say more so Democratic and maybe even liberal Republicans. And I'm going to say that, to where they were challenging him with the understanding that they knew. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, I see a change. I see a change. Now, he never went to the Black universities. He never did. I don't know if he was trying to reach or trying to change the mindset of white people, young white people. I'm not quite sure. But as I'm listening to him, even though his talking points were skewed, not his talking points, but the statistics that he used were skewed, and he only talked about Black people. That was it. Only Black people and Black crime. He never talked about white crime, Latino crime, Asian crime, Indian crime. He only focused on Black people, which I was like, why? And then I start listening to other Black content creators, like one I could think off the mind is Angry Man. He's a Black content creator that says the same exact things. Well, not exact things, but he goes more into depth. He doesn't use statistics. He doesn't do that. By him being a Black man, he's like, look, you know the dumb ish you do. You know it's dumb. You know that you are representing Victim Olympics. And I just was like, oh, I used to get so mad at Angry Man. And I'm like, why are you saying these things? And and then when I'm listening to Charlie Kirk, he didn't say it exactly like that, but he would say it in a way to where he would engage with white students and maybe some liberal blacks and people from other countries. And what was interesting, I found people from other countries like, yeah, Charlie, you're absolutely right, and they would go as far as saying, yeah, black people are dangerous. but but I'm like, wait a minute, this guy has nothing nothing to gain at all. Nothing to gain. And I know some of you are going to come after me, green, are going to say, that's kind of coonish politics with Laura. That's kind of coonish. Why are you saying this? Because it's true. I mean, in my area, I talk to black people, young black Gen Zs and young millennials. And I'm like, why are you doing this? There's a different way you can do it. Why are you doing this? Why must you take this route? Why must you do it like this? Why not simply do it the way you're supposed to do it? How about that? And then it's like, oh, well, you talk white, you act white. What? What does white look like? What does talking white sound like? Uh, it doesn't make any sense to me that you would say something like that. Oh, that's how white people behave. No, 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 no. You don't know the white people I know. You don't. Because if you did, you wouldn't make that statement. Right? So I'm listening to Charlie Kirk. I'm getting to my point. Just please bear with me. Because I'm trying to hit all different people. Not like this, but I think on one level, I think Charlie Kirk may look like a racist. Okay. I'm not going to say he is or he isn't. I could only go by what he says. Okay. If you look at what he does, and that's something that you really have to take a look at. And I haven't really looked into all the things that he did. I could only look at the things that he said. So what people say and what people do are two different things. And what you do is way more important than what you say. This is my thought. So um when he was talking about black crime, I think that right there, in my opinion, was a good thing because it got a conversation going and it got the black community, like those black content creators, talking about black people and the things that they do. Now, could he looked at his own people? He could have, and on some stance, he did. Um, did he? He really didn't get into white crime, but I believe if he had more time to live, I believe he would have gotten to that point, and I believe he would have addressed it. But I think it was interesting that he started with black people and the LGBTQ, um, and single motherness, and that's not only on the black community because there are white women that are single, Latina women that are single, Asian women that are single, raising their families. So it's not just the black community, but the black community is the poster child for any and everything. Black people always get hit first, okay? And I think maybe that was one of the reasons why he was doing that. Now, will history and his legacy follow through on that? I think he's going to have a rough legacy. Oh yeah, because because a conservative, and people are suggesting that you don't have LGBTQ in the conservative or Republican arena. There are LGBTQ and trans that are Republican and are conservative. And you wouldn't think that, because you would think all of that right there is to the left. It's only Democrats, it's only them. No, the Democrats and the progressives, they are more, how can I say, loud about it. And they take to the streets about anything that we may believe doesn't make any sense, but to them it does make sense. Forgive me for saying that. But when you take a look at some of the things, what they take to the streets for, you got to stop and think like, why? Like immigration, like politics with Laura, immigration again. Yes. Now you have people, progressives, that are out in the street and blocking ICE, all this other stuff. And they are protesting against getting people that are here illegally out of the country. No, we need them. And then when you scratch the surface, you find that they're business owners and they don't want to pay Americans money. I mean, it comes down to, you can't make this up. It comes down to them wanting to keep money in their pocket, because that they know if you get people illegal and have them work for you, you pay them way less. You don't have to worry about health insurance. You don't have to pay all of the stuff that somebody who's a naturalized citizen, somebody with a green card, or an American citizen, they would have to pay. So you see these people going buck wild out there. I mean, it's so crazy. What's his name? Gavin Newsom even is trying to pass legislation to have federal people, law enforcement, to remove their mask so that they can see who these people are. Now, you got people with guns in those, what do you call it? Demonstrations and going after ICE. Now, someone was a police officer was already hit in the head with a rock. Do you really want to add that? Now, I've said in previous videos that if you want people that are illegal here so badly, you pay for them. You pay for them. You take care of their needs. You take care of their daily things. Now, I'm not against immigration. I'm against illegal immigration, because then that comes with a whole lot of other stuff. So when Charlie Kirk is talking about that stuff, you're like, oh, you're a triple racist, you're a quadruple racist, you're a xenophobic. And now he's anti-Semitic. I mean, there is so many things that he is. Now, again, how would this look on his legacy? I don't know. It only has been a week. Let's see what a year does. Let's see what unfolds on this stuff. But, looking at Charlie Kirk, and his legacy and how it would hold up or hold, I don't know, but I do believe it made people look at the conservative side in a different light, because people are like, oh, a conservative MAGA did this. And understand this, not all MAGA are conservative. No. MAGA is a group of people from different walks of life, from different political affiliations, that come together under one cause, that is Trump. Okay? That's all MAGA is. And then it does include conservatives, it includes Republicans, it includes independent, and it also includes Democrats. So you take from all different political affiliations, they all come together under one consensus, one thought, and one idea. Now those ideas spread out to different things because some people in MAGA was there about, and same with Charlie Kirk, about the Epstein files, EpiPen files, and about other things. This is going to be quite interesting. It really is. So, what are your thoughts about where his legacy will fall? Would it be on a positive note, or will it be a negative note? Because just look at Dr. Martin Luther King. When Dr. Martin Luther King, he was hated. He was hated by a good number of white people. They couldn't stand him. And when he died, they were doing this. Yes, the irritant is gone. They did. And it took a long time. And this was on both sides. Don't get it twisted, because you had Democrats that didn't like Dr. Martin Luther King either. Now, even though Dr. Martin Luther King was a registered Republican, right? Both sides had their issues with him because he was talking about certain things that they simply didn't want to deal with. He was going down to areas that they were like, we don't want you ninjas here, right? And these places just happened to be Democratic strongholds. It is what it is. You can disagree with me all you want. I mean, but just send me links telling me that I'm wrong. Just say Bull Connor. What was he? A Democrat or Republican? Now, it took a long time to even get him recognized to have a federal day, and his accomplishments for for desegregation. Now, some of us are like, we never asked for desegregation, and the fact that some of the guys who was in with Dr. Martin Luther King said he wanted to eat at a white restaurant, and when he ate, he said, I didn't like that food at all. I don't even know why I did that. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh Lord. It's like, you got right. But we're gonna give it a year or two and see how people feel, see how people go back and take a look. Now there are some people who are saying that they don't like the fact that there are people who are mimicking his passing. Now you see, this is something that we have to do. We have to be honest about for who people are, okay? Charlie Kirk was 31. Still a fool, okay? When you're 31, you still do dumb stuff. And I said in the earlier video, if he have lived to be in his 40s, I wonder what he would be. Would he still be doing what he's doing, or would he move away into something different? Now, when you're 20, a 25-year-old does not operate as a 20-year-old self would. They change. Now, Charlie, he did say some disparaging things about Black people that passed and mocked them. That is true. And you have to look at for what people did. And you got to be honest about it. Okay? So people are saying, well, he did it. He didn't want empathy. He didn't believe in empathy. So why should I give him empathy? Because he didn't believe in it. So then they're treating his memory as the way he lived. That's what he preached. And you got to be honest about that. Now, I'm not saying going up there on where he passed happened and then reacted and falling out. And I get why they're doing it. I'm not saying that what you're doing is right. I just think that oh man. I just think that we have to look at people not for what they said, but for what they did. And he did mock people. He did reenact. Did he reenact? No, I don't want to say he didn't reenact it, but he most definitely did make fun of it. Now, if you can tell me one person, and I'm going to use George Floyd because there were a group of Americans, content creators, especially you, Candace Owens. Man, oh man, oh man. How someone can have a knee on their foot, on their throat for 9 minutes and then say that he died of a drug overdose. Even though the coroner's report, they said that he died of strangulation and that his drug consumption did not kill him. And go read what they say. Don't listen to what I say. But when you put stuff out there like that, right? When it's given back, you can't cry foul. You got you got to take that. You got to take that and not P Diddy take that. Ugh, that guy is. Ugh. He's exactly where he belongs. But just look at him for who he showed himself to be. An immature adolescent fool. Yeah, that was an immature adolescent demonstration of who he was at that point. Now, being 31, many 31-year-old can say that they did dumb things that they wish that they were able to take back. Yeah, 31, 32, still. I got a 33-year-old and she does dumb stuff on a regular. Okay? So, I'm not saying anything that no one else has observed by people in his age bracket. Now, there are people who are mature and there are people who are downright fools. Now, where Charlie Kirk fit in to that scale, it goes back and forth, right? He goes back and forth. He did. But again, we're going to see how his legacy will hold up. Now, if they get what do you call it? He already has a day, which I find rather interesting. And I think there's a lot behind that. There's a lot of things behind the scenes that are I don't know what the Republicans and Trump are doing. Keep in mind, Trump is not a Republican. keep that in mind because he's not. He said that he wasn't. He's hated on both sides. But I just wonder what all this is about. Are they throwing all this out there to keep us? Okay, I'm gonna leave that conspiratorial stuff alone. But on that note, what are your thoughts? Please like, subscribe, and put something down in the chat area or the comment area. And then if you disagree, let's have positive discourse. You don't got to call me names. That right there is not necessary. We can most definitely have a conversation. And please cite your sources. Give me something to read. On that note, because I'll give you something to read. On that note, I want to thank you for stopping by.